Hello, folks, and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. First of all, I will make a little statement. I just want to say to every person that is supporting me, mainly also those who are subscribing my newsletter, my daily market analysis, a big thanks because the gap between the paid sub and the free one is not that big. Not yet. It's going to be bigger in the future. You know, we are working on our website and the project it's running. So we are developing at the moment. It will take a little bit. I will tweet or part of our website, it's going to be a roadmap where you can find some information when we will launch the whole website and so on and so forth. And we will work on different financial um, products related to crypto, indicators, and so on and so forth. We will talk about that in our website. But for all these guys that are subscribing my newsletter on Substack, a big thank you for all your support. I know it has much more the quality of a donation because of this tiny gap between both. But yeah, and I know that. And for all you, thank you very much for your support. Really, I appreciate that a lot. So thank you for all your support and of course all for all people out there that's supporting Inspocrypto in general. A big hug to all of you, really. So let us start with the waste ratio as usual. Oh, I need my favorite tool here, Epic Pen. Nice. So we can start now. We can see the waste ratio is at 80. I mean, that's a nice high, not that high. 1 is the maximum. 80, it's indicating it's declining a little bit. That's good. But if we take a look to the waste ratio moving average, the 30 hours at least, we can see that the 30 hours moving average just lifted up again to the 90. That's really high. And it's declining, it seems, right now. So we need to see what's going to happen next. In my opinion, as I have tweeted today, bullish will be if we bounce somewhere at 30,731. But we really need to see, and we will check all information at the moment. It looks a little bit we are going to retrace even below 30K again in the next days, but let us check. The stablecoin reserves on exchanges decline once again. It lifted up a little bit and it seems it's declining again, so it's just forming such kind of wave formation. And well, I mean, the stablecoin supply is lifting up and lifting up and lifting up. Of course, if we zoom out, if we go to the daily view, that doesn't look that great anymore. Still too bearish, in my opinion. I mean, the stablecoin supply declined a lot and now it's recovering a little bit, but as you see, if you zoom out, it doesn't look that great, or at least not that big. And even here, the stablecoin reserves and exchanges, it's declining, but as you see, we maintain a very nice high level. Okay, just compared, just yeah, to the last month, it declined by 2.5 billion, a little bit more, but it maintains a very healthy level, in my opinion. But we can see here that the wealth ratio is lifting up even more. That's the 30 days moving average, indicating more than 50, and that's really high. That's not the top, but it's still too high, just too high. So yeah, we can check here. It lifted up to 21%. We need to see what's going to happen next. Just a teaser. I was checking the market maker. Looks like it's buying right now again. The question is, um, yeah, if they have started just to accumulate, or if they are preparing the next nuke operation like they did in the past. You remember, hopefully. So let us take a look to the flows. So you remember yesterday I have mentioned we received here, that was really big, 8,600 bitcoins and another 700 afterwards, another 1,700 afterwards, and so on. I mean, it was very active yesterday. We received a lot of bitcoin, almost 20,000 in that was total. Okay, we received, as you can see, um, here again 2600, just before 2000 Bitcoin, here another 1700, and so on and so forth. So we received really a lot, just a lot here, 2600. So yeah, almost 20,000. Then I have tweeted, okay, we need to be very careful because we received almost 380 million just afterwards. So we received the 8,500 Bitcoin, and 10 hours later we received the stablecoins. My question is, why? Why does that happen? Why did we receive the stablecoins 10 hours later? I mean, if you are going to distribute all this 8,500 Bitcoin, the price would go down uh, just straight, right? They just waited. So that's another sign for me that we are not talking about accumulation, we are talking about distribution. They are still distributing. That's ultra bearish then, but sometimes I really try to generate for myself. I'm not sharing that with you, but a little bit of hope. But it's not happening. It's not working. It doesn't match with the data. And we received a lot of stablecoins, a lot. I mean, we received here 100 million. The problem, 97 million inflows, 160 million outflows. 380 million inflows, 384 million outflows. 300 million inflows, 289 million outflows, and so on and so forth. 197 million inflows, 130 million outflows. So if you check this here, you see it was almost neutral. Okay, so that's really crazy. That's insane what yesterday happened. And yeah, since this morning it stopped. So we received even more stable coins, but we can see here also big outflows as well. So nothing big happened since then. Even here, I'm wondering what's happening to the Bitcoin outflows. I'm still wondering because usually I need to see some big ones, 8,000, 9,000 Bitcoin, not happening. Instead, the Bitcoin reserves on exchanges just lifted up even more. So indicating we'll still have these Bitcoins on the exchanges, and it's not clear if they sold them already. So if we check now, we receive 1,800 bitcoins just within the last hour, just before another 1,000 bitcoins. So it seems that the inflows, Bitcoin inflows, are lifting up again. And yes, now the buy pressure stopped. I mean, I guess they need more stablecoins for that. And we also see that SPY is reacting. We can go just to SPY a little bit, and SPY went down. Now it's retracing a little bit, but I think it's going to go down even more, and that will take Bitcoin, I think, to 30,600, 700, something like. Well, we need to see, of course. So let us take a look to the future market. Something I have tweeted today as well was the huge outflows of Bitcoins related to derivative exchange. Something that I didn't not that much didn't notice in the past. But we see here a huge inflow of stablecoin as well. So something, and when I'm talking here about huge, that's really huge. Well, it's big. It's not. I thought we are talking about 2 billion. No, we are talking about 260 million US dollars. Just let me check that I'm right. Yeah, yeah. It's 263,390,828. Okay, I thought 2 billion. That would be crazy. But no, 260 million. It's fine. Yeah, that's big, but not that big as mentioned, uh, or just believed. Just yesterday was a really interesting day. Really, for me as an analyst, just checking the data, it was looking very interesting because we received, of course, some bitcoins. It seems they were longing to derivative exchanges, and they used that bitcoins as collateral. And we received 4,400 bitcoins here, for example, another 2,000 here, another 2,500. So I would say something like 14,000 bitcoins, or maybe 12,000, I don't know. This morning, when the whole pump up was done, when we reached our level of 32,000, between 30,600 and 32,000, they have started to take profit, it seems. We can see here an outflow of 16,326 Bitcoin. And just 7 hours later, another 8,000 Bitcoin. That's huge. That's really, we are talking about more than 24,000 Bitcoins related to derivative exchanges, outflows. For me, Bitcoin collateral futures are mostly used for longs and less for shorts. I have mentioned several times why I think it makes more sense to use Bitcoins as collateral for futures, to long it and not to short it, because of course your own collateral, the underlying asset, is losing in value while you are shorting it. So yeah, maybe you are making profit, but at the same time your bitcoins are losing. So if you want to optimize your profit or your benefit, you need to use stable coins, because that's what they are doing. They are stable, at least USDC, BUSD. Some others are not that accurate, holding the $1. But yeah, so that could be a very, very extremely bearish signal. I hope it's not. I really hope it's not, because we did a very nice leg up. And I have mentioned if we maintain above of 31,400, I think that to fill the gap between 34 and 36K will be available. Now I'm struggling just because of that, and just because I see the sell pressure that maintains at 32K. And we know we have gamma walls there, so of course we it's working like a resistance. But yeah, it in my opinion right now it looks like 32K was actually the goal. And you remember yesterday when we checked the options, um, bigger volume was involved to calls at 31K. So they closed now. I guess we need to see, but I guess they closed their futures already, took profit, and that's it. And also they get bitcoins for that. They are not getting USD, for example. If you are trading on Deribit, you use your bitcoins as collateral, you get your bitcoins and of course more your profit. You will cash out in bitcoin. So it makes sense that we see such bigger outflows. Not only, I guess it's not only related to futures. However, let us take a look. Funding rate was lifting up, um, and it makes sense because the price was lifting up as well. So people went long. Open interest and leverage ratio. Oh, sorry, that was oh Jesus. The leverage ratio did here a huge dump. Okay, so I would say it looks like it could flip right now. It's the funding rate. It's declining, and we need to see what's going to happen next. Let us take a look here. I just want to refresh it. Let me refresh here as well. So we can notice yesterday we had more shorts than longs. Today we have more longs than shorts, of course, on Binance. Still a lot of shorts. But yeah, bulls are, or at least Binance uh, looks like they are still more bullish than bearish. Bitfinex added more money to their longs. I guess if they are still hedging their sells, it means they are selling even more. And related to Ethereum, we can see we have here much more longs than shorts on both sides. I don't care about BitMEX. So let us take a look to FTX. And yeah, I like to see that. Look, that's nothing. That's our shorts our longs. So if they want really to push down, that could be a nice cascade, to be honest. But we need to see. I'm hearing and reading a lot of arguments like we had 9 weeks in a row just red. Now we need green. Why? Where's I never noticed this rule in the markets and in my in the past. I mean, only down it's not possible. That's right. It's what I say, and only up as well it's not possible. So either ways. But who is selling after 9 weeks? We have to go up again. I don't know. I really don't know. The macroeconomic situation didn't get better. It's worse. The inflation is rising. The Fed or the central banks doesn't have any idea how to manage the situation. Even the military conflict is still pending. It's still active. Mm, we see I don't know. I don't see at the moment a situation where we can say, okay, it's done. We can breathe. Everything is going to cool down. We are going up. Why? Because of what? I don't know. I really don't know. So, of course, we need to see. And of course, it's possible that we retrace, that we go up a little bit. But I never have said we will see 40, 50. Not yet. Not yet. In my opinion, not yet. It's all based on data, and we need to see if we can find anything that shows us we can go to 50k. 50k. I have seen a lot of different options. They adjusted their expectations from 50 to 35, 36, and yeah, I mean these guys are really working and trading with big amount of money. We should have this in mind. So based on the theory that exchanges loves to wreck all and to liquidate all these positions, it's obvious we need to go down. But I don't know. Let us see what's happening related to options. So we can see here that FTX is still in control of the market. It seems at least their if you check the aggregated CBD spot compared to the CBD spot of FTX, let me check if oh yeah, I forgot that here. I'm sorry. But yes, even then you see that for example FTX it's with futures, mainly with Bitcoin margin futures, just right now pushing the price up a little bit, maybe aggregated, and of course stablecoin futures, but mostly those two here. And you can see how the price looks like. Also interesting that FTX have started, for example, here to sell while the price was lifting up, and they have started to buy again while the price was um, going down. So we need to see. I don't trust FTX, to be honest. I don't think that's bullish. I think they are. I don't know what exactly they are doing, but for me it still looks like a preparation. And yeah, Binance or yeah, it's mostly Binance did a big um, distribution since we have started to lift up, and mostly driven by futures, as you can see if you compare just this chart here with those here. You see exactly what is driving the market. It's really less spot and more futures. So we can also take a look here. That was what I have mentioned before. Even we can see that that's the Bitcoin exchange reserve spot exchanges. So it's indicating that more and more Bitcoins are arriving and not leaving the exchanges. And that's usually something very bearish because usually that means they are accumulating Bitcoins. But the problem is, even for example, if they bought 50,000 Bitcoin but they didn't withdraw these Bitcoins, they're still here. It's just indicating how much Bitcoins are on the exchanges and not who is owning these Bitcoins, but just taking a look to this chart here, it's just going up and up and up, and even more and more. We had here, for example, 1,120,000 Bitcoins, and now we have 1,170,000 Bitcoins, indicating we have now a gap of 50,000 Bitcoins. And the question is, what is going to happen with this 50,000 Bitcoins? I really don't know. But if we check, for example, our entities, we can see that the market makers, the balance is lifted up by, let me check, 30,000, I think. 30,000 Bitcoins. Yeah, I'm correct. 30,000 Bitcoins. So that happens in the past, and you remember I have warned here to be very careful because usually when they do such big moves, Usually it's a preparation for the next nuke. I'm not sure here. I would like, it's too early just to make a conclusion. We need to see what's going to happen tomorrow. If we see that they maintain that level, that would be a preparation, in my opinion. We should see a next dump afterwards. So we see here the entities with 100 to 1000 bitcoins not accumulating, and even the small whales with 10 to 100 bitcoins, they are selling and not accumulating, or at least reducing their balances, and even the wallets with 0 to 10 bitcoins are not buying anymore. They are stable since in the last 3-4 days. And the only ones, and Whale Map just mentioned that, something I have commented it. They showed that, yeah, big whales accumulated here 58,000 bitcoins. Mm-hmm. Really? If you check, if you really, because we don't have a lot, we don't have 20,000 wallets with more than 10,000 bitcoins. Maybe we have 100. If that's now less, just less. I need to check, much less. So you can check them. Many of them are related to exchanges. Bitfinex, Binance, Coinbase, FTX. Yeah, well, not KuCoin. KuCoin just have a tiny reserve, but yeah, Gemini, whatever. So it doesn't make any sense to say big whales are accumulating 58,000 bitcoins because you don't know if these big entities are related to exchanges. If that's the case, they are not accumulating, they are selling. And they confirmed that. They said, yeah, well, yeah, also exchanges have some fund flow. Oh, really? I mean, for me, that's absolutely useless information, and that's why I just have this range between 10,000, yeah, 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin entities, 100 to 1,000, and so on and so forth. Less than 10,000, and even then, you will find some wallets related to KuCoin, for example, or to other smaller exchange, or to some smaller cold wallets of Coinbase, for example, but not that much like if you are checking entities with more than 10,000 bitcoins. I show you, for example, one thing why it doesn't make sense to check wallets with more than 10,000. Oh, okay, look, we have 91 wallets with 10,000 to 100,000 bitcoins. And you have only 4 wallets with more than 100,000 bitcoins. If we check, for example, those 4, you will see that from those 4, we have 3 that are linked to Bitfinex, to Binance, or sorry, 2 to Binance, and just one, I don't know why they call him Mick, but however, that's a whale, it seems. That's not related, maybe an institutional or whatever, but it's not related to any other exchange. If we take a look now to the others, OKEx Cold Wallet, OKEx Cold Wallet, Bitfinex, OKEx Binance, let us see, Coincheck, Bittrex, OKEx, OKEx, Polynex, BitMEX, OKEx. I mean, so, and they are selling, big whales are accumulating 58,000 bitcoins. Well, if you trade based on this information, good luck. Really, good luck. Um, Another interesting thing is that market makers stopped to send bigger Bitcoins, big volume to the exchanges. That's something nice. But as mentioned before, in my opinion, they prepared something that would at least match to the 50,000 gap we have on Bitcoin on Bitcoin reserves on exchanges. But yes, I don't know if they want to go up to 33K, 34K, and then dump. I don't know. We will see, of course. That's a process. And let us take a look to the exchange walls. Otherwise, this video is going to be a very long one. So, Coinbase. Coinbase is limiting at 35, but they reduced the volume. Not sure why. They are limiting the way down at 28K, and let me check. They reduced a little bit, just also here the volume. Usually I would say they are expecting more the move down than up, and they would explain why they are reducing here maybe the volume, but it's just theory. Derivative still waiting here from 33K up to 40K, so with a lot of orders waiting to sell Bitcoin, Bitstamp limiting the way down at 28.7, Binance Spot limiting right now at 35,400. They stopped limiting, okay, down. That's interesting. And the next big wall would be at 26 or 25. That's really interesting why they are doing that. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. Because usually that would say it's more down than up, but maybe first a bull trap. I don't know. So Bitfinex spot limiting the way down at 27.4, but also look that it's really interesting what they are doing here between 32.5 and 33. So they want to sell, it seems. So that could be an indicator that maybe 33 could be the local top. I need to see. FTX perp, also something interesting. I have mentioned that on Twitter that FTX perp was limiting the way down at 30,700. They stopped. We still have here a limitation at 35. We still have here a lot of different orders waiting to be triggered just to sell at 33, 33.5, tinies here. And yeah, looks also very interesting what they are doing here. OKEX spot, well, OKEX, Kraken. Yeah, Kraken still waiting at 26, but also limiting the way up at 34,500. Yeah. Bybit, I like them. Bybit, it's just nothing. BitMEX, well, BitMEX limiting the way down at 30,900, and it seems also at 32,100. And that's it. Also here you can see some activity waiting to get triggered. Binance, also interesting what they are doing. They stopped limiting the way down, but also the way up. We still have here a wall, a big one at 32. And they reinforced it. So we need to see what's going to happen there. Bitfinex derivatives. Waiting here with a tiny cluster 28. And that's it. Kraken futures limiting the way up at 35. Yeah, that's it. So 35 could be it if the spot also here 35. And that's it. So I mean they are not limiting the way down even not big as in the past. The question is if they just remove their walls because they want to let the price go down, or if they are focused on 35 now. We will see.